rid of George Bush. Hey, let's get rid of George Bush. Hey, let's get rid of George Bush. Let's write a political pop song. That will show that is wrong. Let's make some verbal attacks. That'll make them get the troops out of Iraq. I bet George Bush would be in a bad mood if he saw my video on YouTube. Wait till you see the look on Bush's face when he sees my MySpace. Yeah, wait and see the look on Bush's face when he sees my MySpace. Let's see how that makes him feel. We can even get a record deal. Hey, let's get rid of George Bush. Hey, let's get rid of George Bush. Hey, let's not stop there. We could also get rid of Tony Blair. Hey, let's get rid of George Bush. 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 Thank you. Ray, did you enjoy that? Now on to a more sombre moment. After the attacks, everybody's got a September the 11th story. This is mine. It was during the attacks on the Twin Towers on September the 11th. I was working at Centre Parks Holiday Village in Elvedon Forest, not far from Lakenheath. When the planes hit, I remember I was working in the kitchens there. But one thing I remember even more clearly was maybe it was a few days later, and I worked in the kitchens and I was doing an early shift, and I mostly did the washing up of the pots and pans for the one of the restaurants there. And I remember I was taking a wheelie bin full of leftover food out to the compactors, and I remember looking up and seeing the American airplanes and British planes flying out of the bases, more than I'd ever really seen fly out before. And no official announcement had been made about what we were going to do, or the Americans were going to do in retaliation against what happened on 9/11. I remember looking up and seeing these planes going out, and they had an awful lot of nasty shit strapped to the bottom of them. I didn't know exactly what it was, but they were certainly going to go and do something. I remember standing there with my wheelie bin full of leftover food, looking up at these fighter planes, and thinking about it and thinking, I mean, I may be just a hippie art student, but war and violence are bad things, aren't they? I remember looking up and thinking, what could I really do? What could I really do to stop all this? We were going to war. What could I do? Go and finish the washing up, I suppose.